Sorry, I just got a nasty text from Rico Beard. He didn't like the Iowa comparison from early in the show. Said it's a condescending pat on the head.
Little brother always looks for the negative when a Michigan fan has an opinion about their program.
Can we just work backwards?
Whoa. You're calling him a Michigan fan?
No, Rico. I'm calling me the Michigan fan.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
but just so we work backwards and then we'll move on. When I laid out my expectations for Michigan State under Pat Fitzgerald, I said they'd be a feisty physical team that wins 8 or more games every year, and every 3 or 4 years they make the playoff, which means you got to win 10 or more to make the playoff. You know who that fits? Iowa. We worked backwards, but it fits. Iowa under Ferentz averages 8 wins a year. They've won 10 or more games 4 times in the last decade. They're feisty and physical. You know, I said Fitzgerald's got to hold serve in the rivalry and go 500. Ferentz does fine in that in-state rivalry they have with Iowa State.
Truly competing.
It ends up fitting like a glove. And I know no one wants to be told you're Iowa football because they're boring and they don't ever win a championship.
Michigan was Iowa except for 3 years.
Right. Yeah.
Well, but I also think Michigan State, I do think that they should be a better program, and the expectations should be higher for that program than they are for Iowa.
I agree. And therefore, basically you're saying it's Iowa with like Stoney's candy on top of the dessert, where they do actually compete for a playoff spot. Because I don't think Iowa genuinely competes for a playoff spot. They're just below that, and that's probably where Rico got offended.
Yeah, because in the new Big Ten, Iowa has gone 8 wins. Not good enough. And in this Big Ten, Michigan State will have to be better than Iowa currently is.
And I don't think I'm too far off to actually saying it. Let's do the D'Antonio era all over again.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think they should be right there every single year. It's going to take a couple of years for him to build up his NIL reputation and being able to attract players in the transfer portal. But they should be competing. They should be in the conversation of the college football playoff every single year by year 3.
He said, what a condescending pat on the head. Why not new Indiana football?
So I agree with that. New Indiana football, are they going to be a team that sticks around and competing every single year? Can Kurt Cignetti continue to pull the rabbit out of his hat of a quarterback? And that's really going to be the deciding factor for all these teams.
Does he really think that's what the standard is at MSU, to be an undefeated team?
Win 23 games in 2 years or you're gone?
Well, the Oregon.
You just put that or gone in.
But is Rico suggesting that we should set the bar for Pat Fitzgerald or any MSU football coach at 23 wins over 2 years? I don't think that's fair to expect.
Usually when you pick the once in a while out of nowhere things in sports and you try to copy it, it fails miserably.
Look, I think they provide a blueprint and offer hope and optimism for everyone. But to say that MSU has to be Indiana football, that is the standard. I mean, if Iowa football is demeaning, I think Indiana is outright unattainable. I mean, what they're doing right now feels ridiculous. To suggest anyone's just going to walk in and do it feels ridiculous, does it not?
And I'm curious for all fan bases, like, what do you even consider like the value of a conference championship right now? Because if the goal is simply, I want a chance to win a national championship, I want to be in the tournament at the end of the year, obviously winning the conference title is the easiest path to get that seat at the table.
I just want to be clear. Indiana instantaneously hosted a home playoff game and now is playing in a Big Ten title and should have a bye regardless. That is... Look, if that's what they want to do 2-6, that's their prerogative. I don't think that's MSU football, instantaneously hosting home playoff games and playing for the Big Ten title.
Well, to defend them, they think that's hanging out there because you have Indiana who's done it, and you can do it quick because of the portal.
It all depends on who he gets at quarterback or how he develops a quarterback, because I do believe he'll be able to develop the talent on both fronts, offensive and defensive line. He's going to demand excellence and toughness, physicality. All of those things are going to be what defines a Pat Fitzgerald team. It's also going to be a very disciplined team.
Yeah, I just don't think I was at all condescending to say 8+ wins, playoffs every 3 or 4 years.
No, but you just told him how he should feel.
500 against Michigan. Unfortunately, that fits the description of Iowa. Like, if the shoe fits, it's not.
Yeah, but I think the bar should be higher than Iowa. And okay, I'm the outsider setting the bar for the Spartans.
Yeah.
I do believe that the bar should be higher.
Remember, I said the floor should be Iowa. That's a very different way of looking at it. Get to the floor of Iowa within a couple years here, and then go from there.
I also think what's getting lost in translation is we're talking Iowa pre-Big Ten expansion. You need to be Iowa pre-Big Ten expansion.
Where the floor, every single year, you can look at the schedule and say, okay, here's our 8 wins.
Yeah.
Of the other 4,
Can we steal a couple?
I don't even think it's steal them. I know
Well,
you want to get into this whole.
You'll be the underdog. Sorry. MSU, I hate to break this to you. You don't get to bang the drum for decades about chip on the shoulder and we're the underdog, and then people call you the underdog and you go, why don't we get respect? You thrive on the disrespect of being the underdog. So, yeah, John, they got to steal one against the mighty Buckeyes, mighty Wolverines, mighty Ducks. Well, that was kind of weird. They have to steal one. That's part of the identity of being a feisty program.
But not in every single year, I don't think, when I say the floor is 8 wins and all those other 4, I would expect that you would split the difference at a minimum. So you're talking about 10 wins.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like Rico wouldn't take the D'Antonio era.
What?
They made one playoff.
Okay, but why wouldn't you expect more?
Well, he won multiple Big Ten titles. It's kind of an apples to oranges comparison in the new college football.
Yes, in the new era.
Yeah, it does muddy and mess things up.
I wonder how D'Antonio would have approached NIL. I don't think he would have done well. I think he would have resisted it much like Izzo.
Well,
Maybe.
It's okay to be old school, but understand that maybe it doesn't fit anymore. Did Nick Saban step away because he didn't want to fit into the new era of college football?
Famously, yes.